As I got into the laser and into club sailing, Adrian Finglas was a big part of my development and was probably my first real coach, and showed me the way and told me about the Olympic dream and sort of held my hand and walked me through the beginning phases of the sailing career.
Back in 2007, 2008, I was working for the Queensland Academy of Sport and the Australian sailing team. I remember young Jake Lilly at the age of 14 asking me, how does he get good? And I said to Jake, you've just got to spend more hours, mate, on the water than any other youth athlete in the world at the time. And back then we filled out training logs, monthly hours, and Jake Lilly was doing more hours as a youth athlete at 14 and 15 than the AST athletes.
Yeah, I suppose firstly it started with a dream, and Adrian sort of showed sailing was an Olympic sport and that pathway was a real thing, and he showed how you jump from the laser radial to laser to fin and the whole youth to Olympic pathway, and that was a really important thing to get the ball rolling. So current Olympic coach in AST is Rafa Trujillo from Spain. He's an Olympic silver medalist in the fin class himself and has been to 4 Olympics in his own right.
In the beginning we have definitely communication issues. My Spanish English versus his Australian English was quite challenging. Jake is a great example of commitment and self learning himself. Like you just need to, as a coach, teach everything. You just pointing him in the right direction, and he challenged himself, and it's really amazing to see him.
Yeah, he's taught me to bring a lot of balance into life and how important all your family and friends are, and just to sort of make the most and enjoy their campaign to the max, as well as obviously being the best sailor you can be. Yeah, I think without the coaches you wouldn't stand a chance. They bring like incredible knowledge into the program and upskill you and make you a better person, make you smarter, make you better at sailing, and without them there's no chance you go to that next level.
I've been involved in yacht racing sort of my whole life through my parents. I first started sailing dinghies when I was 15. I was getting sick of being crew and I really wanted to be in control, so I got a laser. Everyone sailed full rigs, so I sailed full rigs as well. One of the local coaches, Brady Lowe, saw me battling up the Broadwater. I think I was upside down most of the time. He came over and was like, "What are you doing? Why aren't you in a 4.7?
Getting Mara to make that switch was a real challenge. She was pretty determined that she was going to sail the full rig and try and beat up on the boys. Something which became a bit of a theme for the time that she was then sailing the radial at a youth level.
I met Mara in Yeppoon in 2015 at a Queensland Youth Championship, and I saw this young girl, and she was, really kind of charging through her boat, and she was showing a lot of kind of potential. I hadn't seen that before, and I remember asking her, what do you want to do? And she had no idea. We started talking a little bit about sailing, and obviously she lives on a boat, and she loves sailing, so it was an easy sell, and we just kind of grew it from there.
Ash's coaching has been probably the biggest part of my becoming an Olympic athlete at this age. He sort of has coached me right from the very beginning, and without him it definitely would never have happened. One of Ash's favourites is just whenever I've been having a bit of a tough time, he'll send me a meme of a goat. It's usually like a small goat fighting something that's way too big for it.
One of her big strengths is her determination. So she started off being quite small for the laser radial, and over the past few years has put in a lot of work both on and off the water to build her size so that she could be competitive in strong winds against the top overseas girls.
Tristan's very meticulous. He is very thorough. After every day you get notes, you get videos. He goes above and beyond. Loves the attention to detail, which isn't my strong point, so it's good to have that.
I guess I spent a lot of time sailing the laser radial myself and trying to chase excellence in that, and learnt a lot of things along the way. I guess towards the end of my own sailing, I was keen to pass that knowledge on to someone else, but also pretty keen to see Australia at the top of the laser radial class.
I think it's really helpful to sort of have that check-in point where when you're sailing by yourself, it's really easy to be overly critical or just get caught up in your own train of thought, but to have an outsider's opinion to set you straight, agree or disagree, is just invaluable there.
a very long time. I do remember them as talented youth sailors, and it wasn't until late 2019 that when I came back to Australia that I became heading up the VIS sailing program, the Victorian Institute of Sport. So that's when I got to really work with them more intimately. As of the middle of 2020 or thereabouts, I became their sole coach to take him to the obviously now delayed Tokyo Games.
Yeah, I can remember one little statement. It's probably come from an old fisherman down here. By the time the wind hit the sails, it's too late. And I just thought, from early on, I thought that was a beautiful kind of philosophy for sailing. You know, that's something that I've kind of followed a little bit throughout, you know, all the boats that I've been sailing on.
Fourth here, you know, I think pretty decent result compared considering some of the days I've had this week. So you know, a few mistakes, a lot of points given away, but to have a strong day yesterday and get back up to fourth was pretty solid. No matter who goes, I think we'll be in with a hunt for a medal, if not hopefully a gold medal. So yeah, I guess that was yet to be made, but yeah, I guess the season's over, so we'll see what happens.
Absolutely fantastic to have the Futures girls up here with us at the moment, especially now in COVID times where the racing opportunities are a little bit more sparse. It's just fantastic to have the young talent around and really boosting our numbers and keeping us honest, pushing us in a range of conditions. And I think Futures is the ideal way of integrating some of the top talent in the youth field and sort of getting them into